Welcome to the Three Amigos podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Today we have a very, very fun episode for you. We've got the one, the only, the last Cowboys corner. How sad it is to hear. The boys and I play a little game. Who had the most disappointing season? We have LeBron watch. How close are we to the point total? What do we think of it? We've got hockey. We've got all the hot gossip from football. We've got our hot takes for the conference games. And if you're a betting man, come and listen because we've got the perfect picks for you going into the conference games. And if you like what we do here and you enjoy listening to this podcast and you enjoy what we do, please go ahead, follow us. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the fun things, Facebook at Three Amigos Podcasts, all socials. Have a wonderful day. And here's the episode. Thanks for listening, guys. Welcome to the Three Amigos Podcast. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting us be a part of your day. Do you guys know what's a part of my day? Probably every day, doing this thing called 75 Hard, but it's the gym, getting after it, feeling good, making myself feel amazing. But, sometimes when you go to the gym and you try to lift a heavy weight and that heavy weight just doesn't want to move. You ever feel like that, guys? Does it ever happen to you?
Sounds like you're choosing too big of a weight.
Maybe not. But sometimes when I try to move it, it just doesn't go, or like that last rep doesn't want to give it to me, or damn, give it to me. That last rep doesn't want to like move, doesn't want to like get it. And I think it's only fitting that one team didn't want to move. One team didn't want to lift that weight. Didn't want to carry it on their shoulders. Didn't want that weight to go any further. And I think Chris knows where this is going. I think Chris should only deliver our last final Cowboys corner of season 1 of the Three Amigos.
Do you hear that? No. It's not the sound of Mustangs stampeding through the desert. That is the sound of lots and lots of flat screen TVs being punched, smashed, ripped off the wall. It is the final Cowboy corner of 2022-2023 NFL season. Justin, I know this is probably going to be the most painful segment that you had to do all year, but we're all dying to know, what's it like to be a Cowboys fan?
I think you have like a mixed emotions. So, Chris, I have to reference. Chris, what'd you say when there's too much weight on there? What do you do? What's happening? Doing too much weight.
You're doing too much.
Couldn't handle it. So you got two different Cowboys fans. You got the ones that are punching TVs, throwing it off, being all erratic because, they're emotional men that really care about football, which can't be emotional any other time with their kids, but can definitely throw some TVs off the roof about the Cowboys. Then you get ones like me that are used to this and just live in the somber of it because there's nothing else you can do. Recently, like you guys know, my girlfriend is recently a Cowboys fan just because since we started dating and whatnot. She's still in the hatred mode, so she doesn't want to hear about it. Nope.
Oh.
No, don't talk to her.
She had expectations.
Exactly. And she holds them very high to those expectations. Well, I watched them lose and lose and lose and lose and lose. So here I am preparing for their loss. I told you guys last week I didn't want to get my hopes up. Motherfuckers. Oh, dumb.
Yeah.
You know what? But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're all okay.
How does it feel? 27 years come and gone, not one Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, that's my lifetime. Literally my lifetime. I was born I think like 12 days after the last Super Bowl that we've been to. So I'm a curse. When I die, we'll go back. None of you wish my death, I'll fucking murder you. However, let's talk about
I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I don't.
Well, let's talk about the game because the game itself wasn't as bad as I think everybody made it out to be.
Yes.
First half went really well until Tony Pollard decided to die. That was really helpful. And this is the one thing that I will say to Chris is if that game proved anything, it proved that you were right, Christopher. You were right.
Thank you.
Without Tony Pollard, Zeke is really meaningless.
Damn.
Because you have that 1-2 punch, they know what to expect. And I mean, we wouldn't, I didn't get to watch all of it, but I watched some of it. I had it on my computer screen while I was working and stuff. So I got to watch it at work and be upset and cry at work. That was great. But 9-9 going into half, you can say, you know what, that was good. Like, let's go. Like, that's tough defense. That was tough ball. Like, they played tough ball the entire time. It was just who was going to give up, give a little. And I know San Francisco has such a high power offense. We do too when used right, but the death of Tony Pollard really affected that because our run went nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Dak didn't play his best game, I would say. I wouldn't say it was his worst, but it wasn't his best. So you just got a lot of questions now as a Cowboys fan. I think there's half believers and half non-believers. I think there's a good mix of people who still believe Dak can be the man. He can do the things. It's not just him. For me, I don't think it's Dak. I think it's an offensive decision making. I think it's a offensive coordinator issue in my eyes.
Get Kellen Moore out of there.
Yes, because dude, you can't you have all this talent and you're pissing out nothing. The San Francisco defense is tough, but it's not. You can't just go out there and be like, oh, Dak's going to throw for this and do that, and that's how we're going to get there. When he's not, you got to also give him plays to be able to do and work with. And I just don't think it's working for them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I think they play make some dumb decisions and dumb play calls. And why would you do that here? Dude, find your way that's working and run with it. I just don't want. I don't know. Kellen Moore, to me, he wasn't really a winner in the NFL, so it's hard. I don't know. You can't be a winner in the fucking games either, I guess, dude. I'm just so sorry. I don't know.
That being said, like you said, it seems like the fan base is pretty split on Dak on whether or not he can do it, and he's the guy. How do you feel about the tweet that the Dallas Cowboys themselves put out after the game that kind of trashed Dak?
Did they? What did they say? I didn't hear it.
Alex, if you could look it up for me, so you can get it right. But I basically was Cowboys lose to the 49ers. Dak throws 2 picks in a game where once again the Cowboys should have won, but lost to self-inflicted wounds or something like that. It was something really weird for a team themselves to put out.
Yeah. Dude, that dude who was writing it was trying to put on his personal Twitter account and just fucked up. Yeah,
That'd
right.
Be pretty funny.
But for real, I mean, at that point,
here is the quote. Dak Prescott gave away the ball twice in a narrow loss to the 49ers in a matchup the Cowboys had a chance to win if they didn't again generate self-inflicted wounds. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
It's on.
That is a very interesting. That's a very interesting way to write.
Well, and here's the thing that I think Stephen A. Smith said this. That character isn't enough to a certain point, is what they're saying. But one of the things that, even looking at this tweet, the next thing that it is says Dak on loss to 49ers, unacceptable, 100% on me. This man's taking full responsibility, saying, hey, it is on me, when really it is a team sport. It's not all on one man. It's on that offense and it's on all that. So even just for him to be, I'll take it all. It says a lot about his character and who he is, and that's a hard burden to carry, especially for a Cowboys fan, right? Chris, I know you Lions, it is what it is. You guys haven't had that much hope, but Chris, Alex, being a Steelers fan, being at the helm of those kind of teams. I wouldn't call Lions on a powerhouse, Chris. I'm so sorry, but
No.
I can't be mean, but I'm just gonna be blunt.
100%.
When you get more of those franchises that have seen a lot of success and done those things, there's so much pressure, and then it just sucks for him to have all that. It's a hard burden to follow. Why don't you think Tony Romo never did it? And he's one of the greatest. They're being just as mean as they are to him than they did Tony Romo. I mean, for years they called him Tony Romo.
That is true.
Go get this, go get that. But the problem is they still love him. They just hate that he lost, and they're being babies.
Yeah.
So and it doesn't look good on you when you are the quarterback and you do have 2 interceptions in a really close game. Not saying it was his fault, but the first interception was really a really weird interception.
This
It
is one of the
bounced off somebody and he intercepted it. But
yes, with 2 through 2 interceptions, and I don't know. I'll look up Brock Purdy's. I don't know what it is, but still,
Purdy was nothing. He
arguably
didn't throw
played
interceptions.
He didn't
one
do
of
much.
the
And
best defenses in the league. Like that defense is stacked,
very stacked.
and still threw 2 interceptions and kept it within 7 points.
The one thing I will say, I was very disappointed in Diggs.
We'll go back to that.
There
But-
was okay.
Get with that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
One last thing. It was at the end when Kittle caught that like fumble pass.
Mm-hmm.
That was the demise. That was like you're not going to win. In my moment, because he threw him halfway down to the 50. It was over at that point. So, overall,
I think why people are so pissed, the ones that are freaking out for Dak is like we've discussed the 2 picks, but then also the very last play of the game, which is the biggest reason why what you said earlier about Kellen Moore needs to happen. Like that was a really bad play call.
what the fuck was that? I get the concept, but you threw it to the inside man why would you? I don't know. None of that made sense. They're fucking
Zeke at center getting destroyed. Like, why would you do that?
It is what it is. It is what it is. Overall, hey, what a good season. Honestly, we can say 12-4. We still made it to a divisional round more than a lot of people. Still, for everybody who hates the Dallas Cowboys, we still been in the Super Bowl more times, probably half of you. We probably have won more Super Bowls than a lot of you. So you can keep getting them with the hate, but once you win some Super Bowls, then you come talk to me about where we go. Yeah. So let's go, boys. Better luck next year. I think next year's going to be we're in for a surprise next year because we could be losing Dan Quinn. We could potentially lose Kellen Moore if they do what I want them to do. But at that point, why don't you just get rid of Mike McCarthy and we'll just bring in a new staff, right? Because we're going to start losing some players because we have some big contracts that we have to sign. Like one thing that Tony Pollard's injury does good for the Cowboys, but bad for him is he probably have to accept less money because people are going to be more cautious.
It's a high ankle sprain. It's not. I think that's
it is not a high ankle sprain.
What was it? I did not know what they
fractured his tibia, and he had surgery on it yesterday.
Jeez, yeah.
Ooh, that
hurts.
That hurts. So,
but Zeke said that he's willing to take less money himself.
Good. He should.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He doesn't fucking earn it. What did he do? Nothing. He jumped.
Also, that this just shows how strong that offensive line is. That Parsons, not Ware. I always want to call him Ware. Lawrence just didn't get anything.
No, but still kept it within the game. That's what was crazy.
Yeah.
Like 19 points is not a lot.
No, not at all. Especially for that team. That team scores 37.
Tampa Bay game that we played this season. There was a lot like that. Where like it was a battle, like it was close. And so you just didn't win it.
I will tell you,
49ers.
This is what I would say about Trayvon Diggs. Why I was disappointed. There is one when you are the star cornerback and a ball hits you in the hands, you need to catch it.
I know.
For sure.
Like that
in that moment, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, this is me signing off for the final official end season Dallas Cowboys corner. Thank you guys for staying put. Next year. More sports. It's okay. What's next? Let's go crack.
Well, I've got a little game for you guys. You know how I like my games. I've got a little game. Okay, so we had 4 teams eliminated. Jaguars, Bills, Cowboys, Giants. Okay. I want you in your little heads to rank who had the most upside to the season and who had the most disappointing season. I want you to rank them 1 through 4. 1 is going to be had the best upside to the season, and 4 is going to be had the most disappointing to the season. Does it make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When you boys got it. What?
I'll go first.
All right, you want to go first? Do you want to do ones, or do you want to do everyone just do 1 through 4?
Let's scroll through the entire thing.
All right, cool. Jay, what's your 1 through 4?
Okay, 1, Giants. Okay. Everybody didn't really have any expectation for the Giants at all. Daniel Jones was even that what if kind of man. What are they doing? Blah 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 blah. Instead, they played a really good football team. They played good season. good football all season. Excuse me. Made it to the playoffs, made it to the same round as the Dallas Cowboys, like and the Eagles, so right within their division, and just couldn't beat the divisional. Well, team that's red hot. So shout out to them. They played a really good season, and that's NFC East, so it's good. And then second would be the Jaguars, a team that really had no expectations, brand new coach, super young team, really started off pretty shitty and then made a huge comeback into the season just to make it to the playoffs and then lose to Kansas City and came back. Literally that game against the Chargers is so epic. Like, who's not gonna love that? That does not just surprise you. And then I would say the Cowboys after that, because I think one, I could have ranked them higher because there were situations that happened, like when losing Dak the first game. Ooh, super surprised super surprised we won all those games. Like, we shouldn't have won those games. And that's what's crazy. I think that was that time. It's only been this season. It feels like forever. But shout out to like how we played, how our defense was. Our defense was phenomenal. And just played good ball. To be 12-4 at the end of the season is good. Like, we didn't suck. And then the Bills. Now, that's the only team I have nothing really good to say. This has like been one of the most like random seasons for them. A team that everybody clouded to be like the best. I think even at some points we did, and I did probably, because I thought I like Josh Allen. I did this, but the one thing that always eats Josh Allen is I think that the same thing that I said last week is he's only really great in the big moment, in the moments. Like, it's not he's like methodical. Like, Joey B is super methodical. He's gonna get you down the field. Patrick Mahomes is super methodical. Josh Allen reminds me so much of Brett Favre, like, where he's just like a gunslinger, gonna throw it around and make big plays happen, but also big plays are gonna happen to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my four.
I love it. Chris, what you got?
So very close to Justin's, but I'm actually going to go with the Jags at number one. I think after last year with Urban Meyer, where that was just such a disaster, so much distraction, turmoil, he gets fired mid-season. You got this young kid and Trevor Lawrence, and he was being talked about like the second coming of Peyton Manning, like that type of talent. And so you're like, oh shit, what's going to happen to him? And then Doug Peterson comes in and just immediately turns that team around, makes it to the playoffs. Like you already said, Justin, epic comeback on the Chargers in the playoff. Like that right there, they should be so happy. Like, I understand losing to the Chiefs is probably disappointing, and you thought, oh, we had a chance. Yeah, you had a chance just by being in the game for sure. But I think you should just hang your hats on the fact that you had a huge turnaround that fast and you got a playoff win.
100%.
Second, I'll go with it's tough. Really, I kind of want to put the Giants and the Cowboys together at second in a lot of ways, because a lot of people did not have expectations for the Cowboys this year. They lost Amari Cooper after last year. Everyone thought last year was going to be like, oh, if they're going to do it, it's got to be this year. And so going into this season, I think a lot of people expected the Eagles to just dominate that division. And then now you have the Giants and the Cowboys who are like, nope, we're going to be just as competitive. And so with Dable going to the Giants and doing a quick turnaround there, making people believe in Danny Dimes, and, McCarthy and Dak getting it done, like you said, with Dak gone like 4 weeks and Cooper Rush coming in and just somehow still winning. It was like, what the fuck is going on? Like that, when Cooper Rush came in and started winning, I got scared as a Cowboys hater, because I was like, shit, they seem like they're just on that track this year. Like everything's clicking for them. If Cooper Rush can come in and win, 3 out of the 4?
Yeah. I think
that's pretty damn good.
I thought he went 4-0. Did he?
I thought he went 4-0 too.
Oh, so 4-0, even crazier.
I didn't think he lost. I didn't think he lose one.
Yeah. So I think those can be pretty interchangeable. But if I had to choose, I'd go Giants, then Cowboys, and then finish her off with the Bills, who I think are very disappointing right now. Like, do you guys remember that opening game against the Rams, against the Super Bowl? Now, we saw what happened to the Rams as the season went on, but we thought that the Bills looked like scary, like no one was beating them after that game. and now to see where they are, it's just like they didn't look good in that game. Josh
No.
Allen didn't look good in that game, so they are at the 4 spot for sure.
And I would have to agree with your list, Chris. I'd have Jags, Giants, Cowboys, Bills.
Yeah.
And just because Jags were supposed to be nothing, bro. The fact, and they kind of were nothing for a little bit there.
Yeah,
and then
they had to
kinda,
get their shit together.
Yeah, they had to get there. And then the Giants, I think the reason the Giants got 2 for me is because they had such a hot start. Like such a hot start. And then the Cowboys, And then of course the Bills. The Bills. What are you gonna do with them? We'll get into them
Funny
later.
that the 3 of the 4 teams, like, all pretty positive about them.
Oh yeah.
The Bills, and you're just like,
yeah, what can you say that's positive about that team? I mean, we'll get into it later, but yeah. We have a surprising move, I guess, right? Bill O'Brien stepping out of college, going back to the NFL, going back to the Patriots to be their OC.
the Patriots?
Yeah, he's going to be the offensive coordinator.
Oh, I thought you said Packers earlier. Patriots. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Patriots. So getting back with his old mate, getting back to that team.
Did they fire then the other guy?
Yeah, they got rid. I mean, they didn't fire him, but like he's no longer going to be running the offense. Neither of them, Matt Patricia or Joe Judge. Honestly, if I was in charge of that organization, I'd be throwing Matt Patricia out on his ass and looking him in the eye and telling him he's not elite, like he did to a certain Lions player who now I have to watch have great success on the Eagles.
Oh,
Darius Slay. He told Darius Slay he's not an elite corner, and then when he wanted his contract, they refused basically to negotiate with him and just traded him to the Eagles. And now we'll see how elite he is over there. Fucking idiot.
He's
Can't stand
elite.
Matt Patricia. So I'm so glad to see him lose his job to Bill O'Brien, who I'm glad to see back in the NFL. I like Bill O'Brien as a coach.
Do you think that I'm guessing this is his step to come back in to be a head coach the year after? If he does well.
I don't know if necessarily like the year after immediately. I got to imagine that he gave Belichick some sort of commitment because like if you think about it, this is Mac Jones' 3rd year, or it's going to be his 3rd season, and it's going to be his 3rd offensive coordinator. Yeah. So that if that kid is going to have a chance, he needs some consistency. So maybe at least a couple to a few years before he takes it, but for sure
3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Talk about a good player, or are they setting up? Is Mr. Kraft setting up exactly what he wants?
Dude, what a good team to be put on! Like that team actually has talent.
Yeah,
100%.
Or is Mr. Kraft putting out what he wants, and Bill Belichick's done in 4 years, and Mr. Bill O'Brien is just right up, step in charge?
That very well could happen.
Get him with the young kid. That's
where was Bill O'Brien coaching at?
Alabama, OC over there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. How many years?
So I actually think
was it
no, it was a few. In fact, I think that his first year there was Max last year. I think there was some overlap there. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure they overlapped a little bit. So there should be some comfortability.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I thought he did great with the Texans a long time ago. They were nothing.
He did great as a coach. He didn't do great when he tried to be Bill Belichick and also be the one buying the groceries and making the draft picks. Like, so his drafting wasn't always there.
Okay, so O'Brien didn't coach Jones. He was hired the year
just after,
like 2021.
Gotcha.
But it says
it would have been Steve Sarkisian's last year.
He hung back on the campus to help with Bill O'Brien learning the offense. So they might have like a working relationship, but nothing like
gotcha
where it's like I was his coach for the last year of his season.
Interesting.
Talk about one dynasty to the next,
All right.
Alabama to the Patriots.
Jesus.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you hear all this rumor mill talk this year about the coaches not liking him so much anymore.
Bill O'Brien or Nick Saban?
No, Mac Jones. Oh, you were
really?
saying that transition for Bill O'Brien.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I was taking it as Mac Jones.
You think Mac? Oh, they're not liking him, huh?
Well, I think that was more of a Matt Patricia, Joe Judge thing that then was spreading around. Like a lot of people were kind of pointing to them as to why all this bad information was coming out about Mac.
Yeah.
Because, people were seeing him pissed off on the sidelines at Matt Patricia. And then a few days later during the week, something bad about Mac Jones would come out about, what the coaches think of him.
Sounds like drama.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of drama. Well, I'm gonna take you away from football for a little bit, boys, if you don't mind. And I'm gonna go exactly where Chris's head was when he put that jacket on, and that's the hockey. And to figuring out what the boys on ice are doing. And I know, Justin, you must be beaming. The Kings just won so they did drop a little bit, but they are literally only 5 points out of first place in the West and a point out of first place in the Pacific.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Very crazy for a team that should be nothing.
Yeah, right.
Talk about upside.
Hey, you know what? It's cool, actually. It's really exciting. I mean, obviously, I don't know much about hockey, and I've only been getting in hockey like maybe the last 2 years. And I just picked the Kraken, obviously, because where I live. But dude, last year they were boo-boo garbage. It's
Very bad.
And it's really cool.
They were young.
Yeah, one thing I like is that you can see like people like them. Like part of the winning culture is also creating a culture for the like city and the team. So that's really cool. Makes it optimistic that they'll bring a basketball team here too, so then I can root for them. But the Kraken are going hot.
Has like the Seattle 12th man kind of carried over to the Kraken? Has that like same?
Yeah, dude, they're
loud.
Yeah, they're loud in there. They do all the chants. Like they got things. I mean, I know Chris doesn't like their squid thing. I don't know if they do that, or I don't know what it was.
Copycats.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I don't know much about it. All I know is we're doing pretty good, and we're keeping it up. So I love it.
Yeah, you guys are doing very good. The fact that you guys are 27, 14, and 5 with 59 points on the season is kind of nutty for a team that is 2 years old. I don't even want to get into the Red Wings and the Penguins because
Red Wings just won tonight against a team I hate.
Who?
The Sharks. A lot of the teams I hate are actually in the Western Conference because up until like 5 years ago, the Wings were always in the Western Conference. So I don't actually besides for the Penguins, like I hate the Penguins, obviously, but that rivalry started back when we were in the Western Conference.
Yeah. I hate, you know what teams I hate? Any Canadian team. Just hate them.
Why?
Because they have this pompous attitude that like we started hockey. And it's like, shut the fuck up. When was the last time you won a Stanley Cup?
Yeah, for any of them, it's been a long time. It's
been a long time, and they like to talk. The Maple Leafs have probably been the best.
They've been the closest in the recent
they've been the best
years,
in the last while, but
they, I think, also have a longer time from it than the Canadians do.
Yeah, probably.
In Montreal,
and they both are trash. But what I think is fun is, Justin, you're just getting into hockey. I'm recently into hockey. Chris, you've been into hockey. You're from Detroit. You got to kind of be
hockey town.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah,
to root for.
But how crazy is it that we
11 cups, bitch?
Yeah, okay, calm down. How crazy is it that we aren't even at the All-Star break, and the Bruins have 80 points on the season?
They're. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but it's pretty much guaranteed they're winning the cup this year.
Yeah,
they look by far the scariest team.
Yeah, and they have a goal differential of plus 83. That means throughout the season that they've scored 83 more goals than their opponents that they've played.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Wow.
In 47 games. That means they're like outscoring them by 2 goals a game, basically.
Yeah.
And their goalie, Allmark, who is like their number one. They have Allmark and Swayman. They split times pretty well, but Allmark, who's been their number one, is 25 of 28.
What, 25 shots?
25 wins. 25 wins out of 28, which is kind of nutty. And he has a save percentage of like .936, which is really high.
Yeah.
The next closest person to him is I think he's on. I think it's no, it's not Sesturian. It's I don't know who it is. It might be Carolina's goalie, which is like a .925, which is a really big difference when you're talking about shots. But the fact that they might break the all-time points record is insane.
Yeah, dude. I think that's crazy. Like I said, I don't know much, but it must be more than that. But put him at what's the all time? I know we talked about it at one point. Wasn't it like
100 the all-time record is like 137, 136, 126 or something like that. And they're on track for like 139.
yeah.
So they're on track to beat it by like 6 or 7 games. Yeah. And yeah, it's just ridiculous. And one of their best wingers is a 26-year-old guy from Croatia, Pasta. And they have a line called the Croatian line, and they kind of pop off. They're all from Croatia. They're all just like, it's just that line is just kind of insane.
That's a Bruins.
That's the Bruins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that line is kind of insane, and it's their second line.
That's crazy.
So it's like their first line is the best. This is their second line, and they would be people's first lines. That's how good they are. And then so just for hockey, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 lines normally. When you have a fourth liner, you're expecting 10 goals a season, usually. It's where you're trying to, like, if you can get 10 goals from your fourth liners, it's really good, right? Before the All-Star break, their left winger on the fourth line has 10 goals.
Wow.
Which is just like
Just
their whole team right now is just himself. It's just kind of insane. Their whole team right now is just kind of going crazy. And one of their hottest goal scorers, Hall, was on a 27 game drought, and they were still putting up plus 83.
Wow.
This is why this team is kind of insane. And what's crazy is the Golden Knights had their old coach from last year. So the Bruins have a brand new coach. Their old coach was very defensive minded. Their new coach is very offensive minded, and you can tell.
That's crazy.
You can tell. Yeah, it's wild to see that they have a brand new coach, same team as last year, and they've only lost 5 games.
So, how do you think the Penguins are going to feel that you basically just jizzed your pants over the Bruins for the past like few minutes?
Dude, it's just insane to see this such a good team. I hate that it's the Boston Bruins. Like, I don't like anything Boston at all. I hate the Bruins. I hate the Red Sox. I hate the Patriots. So it's just like, hate to see, but it's like you've got to like really be like, wow, this shit is crazy that like a team's actually doing this. It's just like another person that I'm not a big fan of, LeBron James, but you have to be on LeBron watch to see when he's going to get close to basketball and scoring the point over Kareem, you know?
That would be crazy.
224 points away. It's happening this season. It's happening probably 7, 8 games, 10 games.
Yeah, well, what do we say? It was like 224 points as of 3 days ago. So, I mean, truthfully, that's gonna be quick, dude.
Yeah.
The average is 20 points a game. That's 10 games.
10 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, 10 games.
And who knows if we'll even see that being broke again in our lifetime.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. And you have to play for a long time.
It won't.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why it won't ever happen is because you can't go from like high school straight to the NBA like LeBron did, like Kobe did. Like that's a huge thing, and the longevity
That might be coming back though.
Really?
Yeah, but I think the other thing too is the longevity. It's not being seriously injured where you're out a whole season and doing this. Like that's the one thing you can, like LeBron has never been like that injured.
He's never been injured. I don't know if he's actually ever really been injured where he's missed a season. Has he?
No.
No, he's been in every season he's played, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's been in the league for the only reason that like it's just weird to think about. Okay, so Brady has been to 7 Super Bowls, right?
10
Super Bowls, and he's won 7.
Yes.
Okay, so he's won 7 Super Bowls, and LeBron James has been to 10 finals and he's won 4. Just tells you how crazy like Brady's stats actually are. When I thought about that, I was like,
and he's had a series instead of just one game
instead of a game. So it's like it's crazy to think. Does that just mean that basketball's harder to win? or
No, I think football is harder to win. Like you got to be
Yeah.
perfect for a
on that
stretch where
one game?
every single stop in the playoffs is a series, and you're no matter what, you're going to get games at home. You're guaranteed to have games at home.
Yeah, I would agree. I think football's harder just because of that aspect. Like, you just have an off day and that's it for you, buddy. Bye. Like, it don't matter about anything
Yeah.
else. Where like you can have a bad day in an NBA series and come back and win the next three and be done.
They did it. They came back 3-1.
Yep.
Can you imagine if the Giants weren't a team, how many Super Bowls Tom Brady would have? He'd have 9. Be wild. Be wild. Just
Or
wild
could you
to
imagine if Matt Patricia was a competent coach, he would at least have 8, because the Eagles wouldn't have done what they did to that Patriots defense.
Oh, really?
They got waxed in that game.
I know. Is this just how much you hate Matt Patricia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's
this was
okay.
a newfound thing, Chris. This
Yeah.
hatred for Matt Patricia is like
It's-
very real. I knew you
Yeah,
hated him, not to this extent.
Me too. I didn't know you hated him this much.
He's
I just think he's a shit coach.
Okay.
And
Hey,
I think he
sometimes-
motivates people. He basically tries to be Bill, tries to intimidate, tries to talk his shit, but he has nothing to back it up
without the accolades of being able to do it.
without actually being able to do it.
I see that. We'll stick on the basketball
Destroyed the
thing.
Lions.
We'll talk about that later. Okay, we'll have a whole section where you can just hate on Matt Patricia. But basketball football player on the court talking smack to who was he talking smack to?
He was talking
Someone on the
honestly like a
Grizzlies.
nobody.
Yeah,
it was
he wasn't a nobody, but he was some.
he sucks.
He's on an NBA team, so I guess he's not nobody. But
Wow.
like it's
What
funny.
I'm
Well.
saying is he was acting like
He's not a John or Steven Adams.
no. He think he went 4 for 17 in that game.
Oh my god, dude, what a horrible.
Like he's not good.
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. I knew the last name was a B.
Yep, Dylan Brooks out of Oregon. He played.
And so, like, what I saw it, I didn't really look too much into it. Was it just that like the Lakers were winning and he like just shit talked this guy? I
No.
don't really understand what happened.
I
I think go for it.
No, go ahead.
From what I saw, I think that that he was chirping, him being Brooks was chirping at the Lakers, and Shannon Sharp is a big LeBron boy.
Yeah,
If you ever watch his show with Skip Bayless, Skip likes to stroke the Cowboys and stroke Tom Brady, and Shannon likes to stroke LeBron James and like Aaron Rodgers and whatnot. That's kind of their dynamic. And so I think he started chirping back to try and get LeBron's back, and then Ja's dad got involved, and like it just kind of blew up into a thing.
He was literally escorted out.
Yeah, and then
he was
because he's
escorted
Shannon
back
Sharp,
in.
they let him back in.
I thought that was the funniest thing. It was like
The entire situation was stupid.
Why is he coming back in? Like if this is anybody else, he's kicked out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I thought that was very funny.
Now his outfit was on point. Like that was a cool outfit.
Yeah, that's a really cool outfit, honestly. How funny is it for us to talk about more than just basketball? A football player has to be involved.
Yeah, right.
Right.
No, but that was actually really crazy because you could just hear him like bantering, and even in that game, like I think Dylan Brooks was saying the same shit to like LeBron, and LeBron wasn't having it.
That's what I thought it was. Like,
but what was he saying?
It was started with LeBron. I can't remember. It wasn't like disrespect.
He was whispering.
It wasn't. What the fuck? Hold on. I'll look it up and I'll double
Yeah,
check.
because I thought it. What I thought it was. I didn't really look too much into it, but it seemed like Brooks was talking shit to LeBron, and then Sharp was like, as you said, strokes LeBron. So it was like, don't talk to my boy like that. And then it was this big thing. And then Steven Adams. The only thing I saw, Steven Adams got involved. And when Steven
he did it
Adams
with
comes
bang.
involved, I'm like this. I mean, it's huge.
He is huge.
But it was like,
what would he? I mean, you know me, Alex. I'm with you on the kind of a LeBron hater about a lot of things. But like, what is Dylan Brooks chirping at LeBron about?
You are 224
You
points
suck.
away from. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I feel like that's all you got to say is, hey, man, you suck.
So I guess like basically, long story short, this is what I just read real quick was LeBron James just got tired of them disrespecting because apparently when they were up, they were like just talking shit to LeBron and talking shit to the team. And that's when he started getting pissed. He's like, no, this is the last fucking time like you're gonna disrespect me. He ain't
That's
like
right.
hooping, talking shit. This is the last motherfucking time I say it. You make a couple shots, and then you start talking shit. Nah, fuck that. I don't play. And then you went and just dunked right over what's his face, Jaren Jackson Jr. And that was the funniest part about it. Cause
That
like you can
was.
talk shit, but at the end of the day, he's fucking LeBron James. Get out of his way. Fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies are getting a reputation of being talkers.
Like
They
Memphis.
they get cocky, like they love to be like Ja. I like Ja. I like watching his game, but he likes to do some fancy shit. He likes to be a showboat. And I think people are starting to like. At first, people were excited about the Grizzlies, excited about Ja, and now I think people are turning on them. They're turning heel on
Are they
everybody.
turning heel on
They're
everybody?
turning heel, and people are sick of the chirping, sick of the showboating because they're
You know,
definitely still very beatable.
you know who they
Yeah.
remind me of though?
OKC.
Who's that?
Those bad boy Pistons.
Yeah.
I was thinking that
Literally
too,
what they
actually.
do. Like,
Pissing people off.
yeah, 100%. Well,
But they can back it up. They can beat people.
they are a good team, but I saw this the other day too. I don't know where I found this, but I just saw some like little kids like playing like just like league basketball or whatever it is, and like
Yeah.
acting like these fucking NBA players and stuff like that. And it was just like crazy because I think the thing was like someone's got to teach these boys like the right way or like how to actually play. Because right now they're all doing it just for, like show off and do these like
Mhm.
hand
Mm.
movements and arms and get in the kid's face. Like I know at a certain age, like if you're in NBA, it is like that. And don't get me wrong, we're competitive as shit, but like some of that shit is just straight disrespectful. It's not anything other, and that's like literally what they're teaching them when they do stuff like this. So it's not necessarily a good thing because it really doesn't pass down great. I mean, all these people are role models at the end of the day, right? That's why everybody got mad when like the NFL was started like kneeling and doing stuff like that because they're role models to people and kids and stuff like that. Like,
And they were like, yeah, I see that. And they were trying to like take, I guess, what you shouldn't be teaching. Like you should be playing sports, I guess. That's the whole argument always, right?
sportsmanship is basically what it is. Like, better play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a line, you know. I saw what you were talking about too, Justin, and like some of them were like, okay, I mean, who cares? Like they're having fun, they're like making a shot and then like pointing up to the sky, like
Yeah,
you know,
that's
doing
fun.
some sort of thing. That's okay. But like you said, getting in someone's face, like you're 8, shut the fuck up. You don't need to go and get that other 8-year-old's face type of thing. But
but
like
like how
having a little fun after you score, like I'm all good with that. I'm fine
Yeah,
with
throwing
that.
up a threes and just doing something like that. But it's like the
Yeah.
big boy, like, oh, like, nah,
Yeah.
dude.
It's like
after
your mom's about to go get you a juice box.
yeah, it's always funny. But I mean, even do you think that when you're playing the game and you're in the not even in the moment, but we're just playing the game, do you think that like would you think that you have that much power over people like that?
Yeah, because like when we used to play basketball, there were several times where I got super heated, but like I wasn't like a dick to somebody. Like remember when I got mad, I just got quiet and I just played
Yeah.
better. Like I just literally shut up and I just did better than the other person. But like that's my mentality on things. Like I don't need to be up in your grill or yell
That's
at you.
not the Westbrook way. Are you kidding me?
But so like yeah, I can understand like in the moment, like yeah, don't say anything, just play fucking basketball, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's emotional, and that's where you just start seeing people's emotions that come out. You know what I'm saying?
And they're 8 years old. They're trying to go and figure out who they even are, you know? They've got a lot of emotions running through them that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, if you boys were playing a game and you were, say, the best of the best in your respective, let's just say basketball, and you make it to the All-Star game, how would you feel if an hour before the game you got to find out what team you were on? Because that's what the All-Star committee has decided to do this year, is they're doing a draft an hour before the game to figure out what team you're on. It's kind of like pickup. I kind of like it. Kind of like you're at the park again and your boys are just like, who you picking?
I love that. I think it's lit.
It's gonna make it awkward for whoever's picked last.
But that was, I mean, nothing can be more awkward than when LeBron tried to make KD pick James Harden.
Oh yeah,
Do you remember that? That was hella awkward.
I think it's
that was
fun
pretty funny.
because, like, think about it. You can make an all big boy team. It don't have to be just a center. Like, you can, if they're doing it like that way, or it just depends on what they're doing. Because you imagine if they
Yeah.
like, like Anthony Davis, and then he fucking had, I don't know who else is in the All-Star game or going to be, whatever.
I
But
actually have no
picking up
idea.
all the Giannis, picking up all the big boys, and then they just that's
Yeah.
crazy.
But also the All-Star game, I think an all over is not one of those games that you really play. Because it's like 150 to like 140.
They just
It's
shoot.
ridiculous. Yeah. It's just like
It's not
it's
deep.
more
Yeah, they're
fun.
not playing defense.
More for fun, huh?
But when it gets to the end, they're playing. Like
Well, like,
when it gets down to like the fourth, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm
but
winning."
they want that check, right? You get
Yeah,
money.
there's money on the line.
Yeah. You get money for that. You get money for winning that game. Yeah, boys. Well, I think that since we are such good experts on basketball, we should just end it there and go into what we really know, what we really love, what we really care about. And that's back to the gridiron, back to the turf. That's a very controversial word right there, turf. People like it, people don't. Who knows? But we had some games. We had the divisional round. Very fun. I think a lot of fun games and a lot of boring games. And there's only 4 games, so I guess we've already we'll start off with the Jags and the Chiefs. What a very interesting game.
Interesting in what way?
In the way of did not expect all that shit to happen in that game. With Mr. Mahomes, how a high ankle sprain. Okay, my question is how much of a high ankle sprain was it if he's able to come back?
He couldn't even.
Well,
dude, you see
they
him?
probably gave him a painkiller shot too.
But still, man, that's and is he going to be ready for next week?
They claim that he's playing.
They can play.
When you have
but he's not going to be himself. No.
Yeah, when you have a 70% Patrick Mahomes or 100% Chad Henne, who are you taking?
I mean, you know me. I ride with my Michigan boys. I'm going with Chad Henne.
Of course you would.
He looked good in that drive. Now, granted, they're not beating the Bengals.
Yeah, no.
With a full game of Chad Henne, but he took over that offense and they didn't skip a beat.
Yeah.
Is this the second time in a row, right? That the Bengals Chiefs has met in the AFC playoffs.
Yeah, in the AFC championship.
Yeah, in the AFC championship, right? The third time in a row. Second time.
Second time in a row, yeah.
Second time. Crazy.
Same outcome.
You think so?
Yeah.
Someone replayed this earlier to me and was like telling me this earlier. The Chiefs are kind of becoming the Patriots. Just kind of hate seeing them in the AFC championship game year after year after year. It's kind of boring, man. Just like, cool, you're good. We get it. No one likes to play good against you in the playoffs for some reason.
They are very good, but I mean, what is it? This is their 5th AFC championship in a row. They've only won it twice. That's a 2 to 3 ratio. I mean, it's not good.
But
granted,
it takes so 2. They're 2-2 right now.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming they're gonna lose.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, it's like cool. Like I just like have seen so many teams. You're a Tom Brady fan. So many teams didn't get absolutely demolished by the Patriots. They just kind of played down for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
When they were like they're hot, it was like why are we sucking against the Patriots? Not like that their scheme is so good, and not just why the hell are we like intimidated by them? What is going on?
It's definitely an intimidation factor for sure when you're playing the
like
Patriots.
The same way when a defense plays Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It just like feels like you're just like, why are you making these dumb mistakes? Like that you haven't
for all this craziness that he plays with. Like he plays with such sporadicness, and
he does.
It's awesome, but it's like you can't be prepared for half the things they do.
But I'll say it over and over and over and over and over again. You have a once in a generation tight end playing the team. How the fuck do you not know how to cover him? I understand he's going to get his catches. I understand. But when he goes 14 for 98 and 2 touchdowns, did you try? Because it doesn't seem like you did.
Yeah, he got 14 balls.
Yeah, they're damn good.
And I love Andy Reid, but I hate him. He just knows how to get people open. Just understands defenses better than they do. And he just knows how to get people open.
And they're doing this arguably with a worse offense than they had last year.
Yeah.
Yep. No Tyreek.
Not arguably, very.
Like Yeah, mad props to them and to Mahomes, who I think will probably get the MVP award. Like, they're really good. But
Would this be
that
his
being
first?
said, what?
This
No,
would
it'll be
his
his
first
second.
Second, okay.
Yeah. That being said, after watching the Bengals, I can't help but think that the Bengals are the hotter, better team right now over the Chiefs.
And healthy.
Yeah, and healthy.
And I hate the Bengals.
Like, Bengals actually have a run game with Mixon.
Dude, and Joey B is just so damn
so good. Why do you have to play for the Bengals? Why do you have to play for the Bengals? Like, I literally hate that. Any other division, I'd have been happy. But it's just like I understand that you don't feel it like this way, but Aaron Rodgers, he's like, get the fuck out of here. You've been on this. You've been so good. Get the fuck out of here. Like, leave.
I mean, we can get to it. I saw a rumor he might be leaving the division, and
which
so
is
I'm
like
super pumped.
Yeah, but it's like,
but yeah, now you've got this young guy who, like, people are calling the next Tom Brady, and he's stuck in your division.
Yep. And what was it? Someone saying, like, he plays like Peyton Manning's offense, where he reads the defense and he makes a call.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't.
He's
just
smart.
Like,
he's very.
He doesn't
smart.
have like okay, I'm gonna throw it to my X or I'm gonna throw it to my Y. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get up, see what the defense is doing, and I'm gonna call whatever I need to.
And that defense, holy shit, they're all over the place.
Really good.
Yeah,
that's the one thing that everybody sleeps on is Cincinnati's defense is pretty freaking dang. Like, they're loaded.
Like, the Chiefs' defense is good, but like, when you think of the Chiefs, you think of Mahomes and Travis Kelce. With the Bengals, you obviously start with Joe Burrow, but then you just think about everyone on that defense. Eli Apple, just all over the place.
Eli Apple.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him personally, but on the field, he's pretty damn good.
No, I hate him. He was a Pittsburgh.
He's from Ohio State, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's from Ohio State, and then he played in Pittsburgh, and then he went to
New Orleans.
Okay, and then he went to the Bengals.
I thought he was on the Giants.
He was on the Giants for a minute.
Jesus, he's been all over.
He's been on quite a few teams.
He's only been in the league for like 6 years.
He has like an attitude problem. That's what I remember being. That's why he's on his team. And he's been with the Cincinnati for a while, but they're kind of that. When you're in Cincy, I feel like that defense has that kind of attitude.
They have that grit to them.
He was saying he was taking his trash talk to Twitter today, or maybe even yesterday, to Stephon Diggs, and it was pretty brutal.
All I know is the Bengals, half the Bengals secondary is basically the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I don't know what's going on.
Does that
Mike
bug
Hilton. You? Yeah, kind of. Eli Apple, Mike Hilton. You're like, come on, guys. What are you guys doing? But yeah, and I just think I'm really excited to see what happens when.
We should just talk about the Bills Bengals game too, while we're at it.
While we're at it, it was fun to see
slaughter.
So fun to see football played in the snow.
I know, it's my favorite.
Good vibes, just like seeing it play in the snow. But I just want to see what happens when Jamar Chase's contract comes up, T. Higgins' contract comes up. Joe, I just like what happens in 3 years when all these.
Well, Joey's about to get paid.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Pay the man. Don't even question it. Just whatever he wants. Yes, sir.
How much money? Lamar Jackson will be his deal. Will set the tone for Joey B's.
He's leaving. He's leaving.
I hope he does. Good.
Ravens are not going to pay him.
Yeah, they say they are.
They claim they're going to. Yeah.
No, they're not going to pay him. They're the Ravens.
Anyways, we'll talk about that another time.
The worst fucking team in the league.
We're on ADD mode right now.
But Mike McDermott is a defensive coach.
Yeah.
And his defense could not stop Joey B.
Question.
I know they're banged up. I know they had a lot.
No. Did the DeMar, did that really just shake up this team?
Yeah.
That, they are playing
But it's not the reason. It's part of it.
Not anymore.
Well, they also lost Von Miller.
Mm-hmm. So I thought it was Hamlin, Miller, Micah Hyde. All those people were injured.
I thought it was super funny to see there was a freaking blizzard, and then they would show DeMar every now and then, and there's just a silhouette of a man just because it was
waving from the box.
See anything. Yeah, you couldn't see anything. It was just it was funny, but yeah, and yeah, I don't know.
But it does mess with you a little bit. That does kind of.
But who do you even put this loss on?
McDermott.
The team just didn't show up.
Yeah, and that's on McDermott.
Yeah.
True.
And he's been there how long now? It feels like he's been there quite a minute. And I do like him. But I saw a lot of Bills fans after the game calling for them to get rid of him and use their first round pick to trade for Sean Payton.
Damn.
For Sean Payton, they have to trade for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Haven't you seen
technically
that?
his contract
Yeah.
is still owned by the Saints, so whoever wants him has to trade with the Saints for his contract.
Yeah. They're like, and like teams like Miami and no, not Miami. Yeah, no, Miami was one of them. I don't know why, but no, they were last year. And then three other, the Broncos, the Houston,
Panthers.
and the Panthers, right? Three teams that were like, can you give to them? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you're going to give them a first round overall pick for Sean Payton? Like, it's like, yeah, sure. But
Bills fans want it happen. I saw a lot of them. They were pissed off with McDermott.
yeah. And it's just that, like, what's cool is like, that's the next generation. That is our Peyton versus Brady in the AFC Championship game, right?
Right. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and then now it's going into like the Peyton versus Brady in the AFC chain. Like it's like there's like these four really really good quarterbacks in the AFC, and it feels like we're just back 10 years from now when it was like Ben, Peyton, and Brady, and there was the only three teams that ever went to the AFC in the AFC ever.
Yeah. No, totally. For many years, it was always just a combination of those few names.
Mm-hmm.
And now it feels like it's going to be that way. And I think Justin's right. I think the comparison for Josh Allen to Brett Favre is pretty spot on with like, yeah, he makes some spectacular plays, but you also make some spectacular bad decisions and you don't always show up. And then Joey B is looking like Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes is kind of some mutant all to himself with his abilities. But it's pretty funny.
Yep. And I hope Josh Allen figured it out. I want to see him win a Super Bowl. I like him
too.
I like those.
It just doesn't give you much hope. Like when he's like, I don't know. I hope so too, because I think he's a young kid from that literally Wyoming of all schools, drafted the first round. Well, let's go.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Stephon Diggs' Twitter? Is like him going off? Did you see all that
on his Twitter?
Yeah. Did you like? I think it was Twitter. Yeah. Or was it? Yeah.
I didn't see that. I saw him. I saw that right after that game, he basically went into the locker room, grabbed his shit, and got out of there before even the coaches made it up the tunnel. He was out.
He was basically pissed. What he said was, "Want me to be okay with our level of play when it's not up to the standard?" Nah. Mm-hmm. And basically that's what. But he is very, very, very mad. Do you think he's out of there next year? Because like,
I don't think so. I mean, if so, I would judge him quite a bit, because it's like, all right, you've already kind of done this, like, get me the fuck out of here with the Vikings. And I get it. Kirk Cousins, I mean, I wouldn't want to, be with that team either. Course. So like, I get it, man. But now you're about to do it again. And now with the Bills, where you can't say it's the quarterback, because I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Every quarterback makes their mistakes, and Josh Allen is still tippy top of the league in a lot of ways. So can't really blame it on that. Now, are you going to blame it on the coaching to get like, where are you going to go? So I don't know. I have a hard time believing he's going to force his way out.
I think if they had any year, last year was their year.
Yeah. Well, they'll be fine in a couple years.
Yeah, but I don't think like for Stephon, like I agree with Chris. Like you can't just dip out and make the scene. Like to me, it just seems like he's frustrated, which rightfully so. I mean, he's been in a couple different situations to help his team go into a championship game and then go into the Super Bowl with the Vikings, with the Bills a couple different times, like, and it failed every time. Like last year, I mean, wasn't last year we just stood out on the field and like watched him? And this year did the complete opposite. Like, dude's just emotional in general. You can tell from those actions. I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
And what's crazy to me is this: looking at this Bills defense, their linebacker cores is insane. Mm-hmm. Milano's had the game of his life. Not the game, but he's been a season.
He's been great.
And then Edmonds has been really good. When Von Miller was out, he was really good. They just have such a good team to be this bad.
Secondary is just injury prone. Micah Hyde is always hurt. Good player.
Yeah. They have a ton of free agents this year too. Like, this was their year in a lot of ways. This was their year. And one of those free agents, I'm hoping the Lions scoop up in Jordan Poyer.
Oh, dude, that would be a big.
That would
win
be
for you
huge
guys.
for our secondary.
I think we should move to the NFC side of the ball.
Oh.
And let's not talk about the Cowboys. I think we already saw that.
Yeah,
one.
we broke
already
that
have-
down pretty well.
Yeah. But talk about probably the most boring game of the weekend and the Giants Eagles.
I didn't think it was
Yeah,
boring.
that sucked.
It was scary.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, scary. But I was really didn't know what to expect from Jalen Hurts coming back from his
Shoulder.
yeah, but kind of looked
Good.
He
Same.
looked fine.
yeah, kind of looked like it was okay.
Yeah, he looked healthy.
Giants
as
did
hell.
not show up.
Nah. Hey, yo, but Dallas Goddard, bro, did really good for the Eagles this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, you picked the right tight end.
Yeah, right. I know. Too bad it wasn't the right team.
Oh, damn, dude. Yeah. What a. I wouldn't even say that. Not what a sad way to end for the Giants. You guys did so good. You shouldn't even.
No, same thing with the Jags. You need
Yeah.
to be like just grateful you made it to this game.
Yeah.
Hang your hat on the win against the Giants and call this year very successful.
Go get some help in receiving core on the offseason, and you guys will be really good next year too.
Yeah, they had a better receiving core. That receiving core is like thin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thin.
But yeah, it was and they have such a good edge rusher in Thibodeau. I think that's how you say his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good edge rusher. So it's like you guys are set for a
This
minute now. Just
going
go
to be-
get some help.
Arguably one of the most competitive NFC championship games I think I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
So,
Both
question, Justin. I want both picks. I want who you think will win and who you want to win. Because I know there's feelings against the 49ers, and there's definitely feelings with the Eagles. So, like, who would you want to win? What would be easier to watch?
I don't care. That's the
I
best part. Like the best part is I don't care because here's the reasons why. One, I like Jalen Hurts. I just like his attitude. I like who he is as a human.
Yeah.
Just from his like what he did in college and how he acted within the situation. I've always just I admired him and his leadership style. And I think, dude, what a kid who was second round, people counted him out, removed from the starter at Bama. He said, fuck that, I'm gonna go get that at Oklahoma. Then comes into the NFL, people still doubting him, and he's taking the team to a Super Bowl caliber level is insane. And I would love to see him win one. It hurts me to say to do it with Philly. I wish he would do it somewhere else. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. And then just being from like Arizona, it's cool that Brock Purdy is an Arizona kid. He's a Gilbert kid and doing really great with a high-powered offense. I love the Bengals because I think Joey B is so smooth, and I hope they make it in. But I don't know if I don't think any AFC team can compete with both these NFC teams. In my eyes,
Yeah.
I think the
No,
NFC
it's pretty tough.
is much more competitive than the AFC in difference, I guess, right now.
Yeah. Before we get to predictions, I wanna stop real quick and talk about last week's predictions.
Okay.
Chris, you went for chaos, and you could tell. 1-3, 1-3. It was a good effort.
And what's shitty is my one quote unquote chaotic pick that hit really was the least chaotic pick
Yeah.
out of all of them.
Come on. And then Jay, we went 2-2. Second week in a row that we've tied. So
Just picking same picks.
they're comparing the same picks. So before we get into the picks, before we get into the conference championship, before we know what you want to hear, and that's what we have to pick, because obviously from those records we are the best people to pick these games. I want to hear your hot takes going in to the championship game.
Ooh.
For each championship game.
Just overall theme, like just one. It can be from either championship game. Jay's hot take could just be what he just said.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty good hot take.
Exactly what I said.
The NFC, the AFC, it can't match the caliber of the NFC right now, which is pretty
The
Old.
Chiefs are going to be, I don't know how to word this. They're going to be known as the team that was amazing, tip top of the league, but just always kept coming up short. I know they had their one Super Bowl, but you could argue that they were a play away from losing that.
Yeah.
And then they got beat pretty bad in the Super Bowl the next year. And then they keep making it so close. I think we're going to see another year of that where they make it so close and not make it. So I don't know how you would really word that without being disrespectful, because it's still super impressive what they're doing, but they're just not going to get it done.
For Joey B's sake, I hope it doesn't happen. But I'm going to take the hot take that the Bengals equal the 0-4 Bills in the Super Bowl.
Oh, you think they're going to go again and lose again?
Yep.
Ooh,
I think they're going again.
damn.
And they're losing to the Eagles.
I could see that.
Yeah, I think they're going again and they're going 0-2. And what more can you give the Bengals team that they don't have that would make them win?
Well, you're right. I mean, they spruced up their O-line, which is what everyone was criticizing in last year's Super Bowl run.
Now it's a little shady, but it was really great up until like 2 games ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's a little shady now. But okay, going into the picks, guys. You ready for our conference game picks? You ready for this? We're gonna start with because we have more AFC teams in this. No, we have more NFC teams in this lobby. We're gonna start with the NFC. 49ers,
okay.
Eagles in Philadelphia. Eagles.
I think
no, I don't know. I
Oh,
knew
hard
we were
one.
gonna get here, dude. I know.
Dude, the thing is, Brock Purdy has to be stopped eventually.
But what if he doesn't?
Well, here's
No,
the thing.
It has to happen.
If he wins a Super Bowl, you can't take him out.
Go back to Justin's breakdown of the Cowboys 49ers game.
Yeah.
It was tied at half.
Yeah.
Like it was an ugly defensive game. Like Brock Purdy, he didn't have the turnovers that Dak had, but it wasn't like he was lighting it up. It wasn't like he was making plays that we were seeing him make.
Yeah.
Like we saw him at his most vulnerable so far of what we've seen of him in the NFL. And then you look at this Eagles defense, they're fucking legit.
Yeah.
They have Sue, they have Lane Johnson, they have all these fuckers. Like they're good.
Yeah.
And I just see what happening this past week against the Cowboys happening again, where they're gonna score. They're going to move down the field a bit, but they're not going to be as dominant. And this Eagles offense definitely trumps the 49ers offense.
And 2 things. 1, Sirianni, automatic plus. That guy is hilarious.
He's crazy.
Number 2, does the whole Charles, whatever his last name, arrest affect the team in any way going into this, No. You guys heard about that?
No.
I don't know how to say his last name, but some guy it's like Omenihu. Don't know how to say that. Sorry, but he got like arrested for domestic abuse or something like that, like yesterday.
Who does he play for?
He plays for the 49ers.
Oh.
Interesting. I didn't hear that.
For domestic incident involving his girlfriend. He was released on bail, but does that weigh on your locker room enough to make you question? No? Okay, you guys just say no.
No, I still think the Eagles win, but I don't think that's going to be a factor. Like a lot of those guys, they have tunnel vision. They're focused on their job.
Now, if that was Brock
one
Purdy,
of them
sure,
has a job and they're focused on it.
Now, if that was Brock Purdy or like your coach,
yes,
sure. But it's a defensive linebacker or D end or something like that.
Yeah, I think they're fine. They still have Nick Bosa.
They're still going to lose. They're still going to lose, but
they're still going to lose, I think. Yeah.
Nick Bosa is probably the hottest NFL player, but it's fine.
You think he's cute?
Not cute. He's hot.
Oh, so that is what you meant by that.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Yes, he's hot.
I thought
Alex
you were
hot take.
talking
That's Alex's
like
hot
his
take.
play.
Yeah, my hot take is Nick Bosa's hot, bro.
Love it. Well, Justin, did you ever decide?
Yeah, come on, Jay.
No, not really, but I'm gonna go with the Philly because I think
Ooh.
yeah, I don't care. I think just whatever. Move on.
No, here's another factor. Even though we're all in agreement, and this is just another point to our argument, but this is Brock Purdy walking in to Lincoln Field in the playoffs for the first like that. Does he know what's going to happen to him? Does he know the fucked up shit that's about to be said to him? Like that crowd's going to get in his head.
No,
yeah, they are pretty mean. They're not very
They're
nice.
savage.
Yep. And we've got the last game, the Sunday night game. Bengals Chiefs. Have no idea what Patrick Mahomes is up to. It's hella funny. The Bengals claimed former defensive back Chris Lamons on waivers about 4 hours ago. That's kind of funny.
Making moves.
Yep.
Bengals.
Patrick Mahomes is injured. No, you can't.
Bengals.
You have to beat him with 100%. Patty Mahomes. You can't beat him without. And they got their number. They're undefeated against them. They haven't lost.
They are. They're 3-0, right?
It's their kryptonite.
Yep.
So a lot of people's kryptonites. Bengals are that team right now. How funny would it be if it was the 49ers Chiefs?
I think that'd be pretty funny. I thought it was going to be that a few weeks ago.
That's the original
I thought
one,
we
right?
were going to see that rematch.
I am going against my pick. I said Chiefs Eagles when the playoffs first started.
Now you're going.
I thought it was gonna be 2-0. Dude, with Patrick Mahomes' ankle, like how can you even because like Jay said earlier, like what Patrick Mahomes is the magic that happens outside the pocket, or the magic that happens that he extends a play. Can he do that?
Not as well.
Ankle sprain, I don't know. You know, and
it looked pretty gnarly too. That was a fold up.
Yeah, didn't look very good.
No. He's being a baby about having to go in, but
yeah, I saw he was pissed when they made him go back to the locker room. No, I don't think he'll be recovered enough in time to keep up with this Bengals offense.
And the last game, the Bills Bengals, like this is kind of shitty about what happened, but what happened in the Bills Bengals game in the playoffs might have happened in the Bills Bengals game in the regular season. And this game's played in Cincinnati now, not in Kansas City.
True.
It's a very like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, I get it. Like, things happen and like you gotta happy to cancel the game, but why don't you replay it at a certain time on a later date? But
it just doesn't work with football.
Roger Goodell.
Like it's not like basketball.
Freaking Roger.
Like there's certain prep you need to do for every single game. It's logistically it's a nightmare to like try and make up a game.
Already did the prep. No more prep is needed.
Yeah, can you imagine having to like change the fucking Super Bowl day and
but like
listen, boys. I'm just saying it's
I don't think it's gonna matter.
It's a place of conversation. I understand it's a place of conversation. This is played in Arrowhead now, not and I don't even know what the Bengals Stadium's called.
Bengals.
I think they just sold naming rights for it actually.
Was it called Bengals Stadium?
Yeah, something like generic like that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And they just like, okay, cool. But yeah, that's the episode, boys. Anything last to say before we sign off and do our socials?
Next year's the Lions' year, baby.
Okay, I'm down with you.
I'm dead. We're gonna get another. What is it? Not gonna be 12-5. It's gonna be 15-3.
Oh yeah. If you think I'm going down in my prediction next year, you're wrong. It's only getting better.
Only getting better.
Depends what your picks are. You're gonna hit your draft picks and stuff. Then you'll be like, oh.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I gotta be happy with the draft.
And that's a hard feat for a Lions fan. And if you didn't know, we are having a Super Bowl watch party So if you want to come watch with us, grab a beer, grab a whatever kind of snack you have. Come hang out. Can't wait to watch with you guys. 3 hours of our beautiful faces on your screen next to the Super Bowl. Maybe the biggest holiday in a football fan's life, the Super Bowl. So come and watch
It
that.
is in my heart.
Yep, we're gonna be live on YouTube. And if you want to know where we're live on YouTube, we are at 3 Amigos Podcast on all socials. And if you type in at the 3 Amigos, it'll also show up. I know that there's been big controversy over
Big controversy.
over that, and
This podcast almost broke up over the word "the."
over the word "the." And I'm here to say that TikTok and Instagram earlier this week made me type "the," so I would type "the." So until next week, boys. Stay fresh, stay salty, and keep watching football. Peace.
Good night.
See you next time, guys.